Okay, so today, my friends, I am going to answer a lot of your questions. You're doing live often. I'm really happy too. It takes a lot. And by the way, so this week is all skincare week. Next week we are going to be in business week, and I have some incredible, very successful women entrepreneurs with businesses that you have seen all over Instagram. So Ștefania, cea mai frumoasă româncă, nu cred, dar mulțumesc mult, te pup. What do you miss the most? Answer, please. Miss the most while I'm in quarantine, I presume? What I miss the most? I think I took for granted having the ability to have things so readily available. When I was born, the first memory that I have, hi from Portugal, the first memory that I have in life is waiting in line for food. So that's how it was when I was born in 1984 in Romania. It was, unfortunately, at the time under communism, so people had it extremely hard, and you couldn't find anything, and you were told how much to eat, when to eat it, how to eat it, pretty much. So after the revolution, I never had to deal with that again, because the only way I wouldn't have something is if I obviously mess up in life, right? It's my own doing. So going to the stores and not finding things, that's what triggered the anxiety for me, and that was one of the things I had to deal with. What's the foundation you're applying right now? I don't have foundation. I have the Algenist BB cream on and my concealer. Okay, so let's dive into the questions, yeah, because I know that's why everybody is here. So all I did this morning, by the way, is just I went kind of like this through my stories, and I saw there were well over 100 questions. So see, I keep scrolling all the way down right now. So I'm hoping that I can answer as many as possible. Keep in mind that I will do another one of these on Saturday, so just have a little patience with me. If I don't answer today, it's very likely I will answer on Friday, and we also have our Master's Edition on Friday. So okay, so I mentioned that I'm going to post to you guys here. I'm going to read it first really quick, just to make sure that you're not giving me instructions to not share your questions. So, okay, let's go with the first one. Serum versus oils. Which do you recommend for either? So I would recommend serums first above anything else, simply because they have a tendency to be more concentrated. They have a tendency to be more packed with active ingredients. They are, generally speaking, lighter, so they will come in closer contact with your skin relatively close after cleansing. So I would say serum above oil first and foremost. Oils, you can look at oils as being occlusive, right? They can essentially wrap everything that you've created and keep it there, if that makes sense. So you've put this beautiful canvas together, you put your serums, you put your moisturizer. An oil is going to lock everything in, basically. I like both, but if I was to choose one, I would go with the serum, of course, because of the active ingredients. How many times? Okay, let's do this one. How many times a week? Basically, I'm pre-screening to make sure that somebody didn't give me instructions of please don't share my name and information. So how many times a week should a face mask be made, and the scrub? It really depends on the ingredients in the formula. And thank you for the hearts, by the way, I really appreciate it. It really depends on the formula. If there is water in a formula, water is the breeding ground for bacteria. So unless you are using something to preserve the formula, then I really wouldn't keep it more than a couple of days, tops 48 hours. Legitimately, bacteria is something to be concerned about. And if it's an oil base and there's no water in the formula and there's no water coming in contact with the formula, of course, it depends. Like, every product will tell you its life shelf on it. But usually with my face masks and my scrubs, like my face masks, I kind of do once. Like, it depends if it's like an avocado and some olive oil, and well, not olive oil, but you know what I mean, like an oil, a grapeseed oil, something like that. I just make it once. Scrubs, I'm assuming we're referring to the body because we're not scrubbing the face. For scrubs, those can last longer, and those can last a couple of weeks comfortably. Again, I'm just very, I'm overly cautious with this. Okay, thoughts on Biologique Recher. I love the brand. I use their P40, whatever that toner is called, and I really love it. I heard that they're going to be making some formula changes here in the US too, which is kind of sad, but I do love it. Okay, hang on, let me scroll back down. Okay, recommending products for extra glowing skin. So, best products to get the most glowing skin. It's gonna start with the vitamins and supplements that you're taking. So you have to make sure that you're taking things like vitamin A, vitamin C, that you take your antioxidants basically in pill form. Again, I am not a doctor, and you have to make sure that this will work for you. I'm just telling you things that I'm doing and what I think I would do, you know, if I was asking this. So I would start with the proper skincare supplements. Then I would properly exfoliate. If you don't properly exfoliate, you're gonna have dead skin cells that are still going to be attached to your skin. So you're not going to be able to see that glow and that beautiful skin. Not to mention, you're not gonna be able to allow products to further penetrate the skin. So you want to make sure that that you're properly exfoliating, ideally using a hydroxy acid or beta hydroxy acid, either glycolic acid, azelaic, or like a salicylic acid, whatever works for your skin type. And you have to hydrate the skin, because a plump skin is going to be glowing skin. And use the proper moisturizer for your skin type, and use sunscreen. But I would say hydration and proper exfoliation plus the proper supplements. That's really how you're going to get the best glowing skin. Ooh, this is a good one. Why shouldn't you put ice directly on the skin? So this is a really good question, and I have seen some videos out there where folks put ice in direct contact with the skin, and they argue that, well, you can put your jade roller in the fridge and it's still cold, and then you take it out. And then I'm like, yes, well, actually you don't have to put your jade roller in the fridge, because the jade, one of the reasons why you're using it is because it's naturally cold already, and it's able to maintain that temperature once it comes in contact with the skin for a while. So you really don't have to. And the reason you want to avoid putting like anything, and besides, honestly too, those surfaces, those materials, they're made for that. There's a difference between something that's skincare that's made to be put in the fridge, like a globe, the ice globes, versus direct ice, right? With direct ice, you have little to no control over the surface of the ice. But the reality is that we have very delicate capillaries underneath the skin, and they can be really easily broken if that, and not to mention frostbite, but potential frostbite. But yeah, when something is so assaulting to the skin, those very delicate capillaries can be broken. So you don't want that. Okay. Best preparing skin. I'm not mad, he's making me a latte. Thank you, honey. Best preparing skin for acne. Best preparing skin for acne-prone skin for flawless makeup. Exfoliation is going to be huge, right? And you never want to use mechanical exfoliator, physical exfoliators like scrubs, because you risk popping any active acne, and that can spread bacteria. You also, so you want to make sure that you gently exfoliate. Another thing is you want to make sure you hydrate. Just follow your basic skincare protocol. And depending on what kind, see, acne is like a skin condition, but depending on what skin type you have, because you can have acne with dry skin and you can have acne with oily skin. So, you know, it really depends. Right now, I've had acne with oily skin. Now that I'm turning 36, my skin is combo now, and I have a lot of, like, it's dry up here, and guess what? I woke up this morning with a pimple. And I take care of my skin, yet, you know, acne is a condition. So, depending on your skin type, it's either, and this is something that I learned from Harush, a lot of times primers can be drying to the skin. So if you have dry skin, the last thing that you want is to put a primer on, no matter how hydrating that primer would be. Instead, even if you followed and you did your entire skincare protocol, you still want to apply a thin layer of moisturizer right before your foundation, so that your foundation has something to grab onto, stick to, and you use that instead of a primer. Now, if you have really oily skin and you want flawless makeup, after you follow the entire skincare protocol that I advise all the time, then you can use a primer, and that could help. Does that make sense? But it all starts with skincare. It all starts with skincare. Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. Okay. I see a lot of reoccurring questions too, so if I see something that's reoccurring, I will, oh, hello, Jeremiah. Helena says, double espresso over ice, please. Can you make a double, can that make a double espresso over ice for Helena? Yep. Coming right up. Skin products for dry, flaky, sensitive skin. So when it comes to skincare in general, it's just my personal opinion that you absolutely need to exfoliate. Now, how your skin is, how sensitive it is, and dry skin versus oily skin, they're going to exfoliate very differently. However, I firmly believe that a chemical exfoliator is going to be the most gentle way to exfoliate your skin, period. Now, I mentioned dry and sensitive is not going to have the same kind of chemical strength as like an oily and thicker skin is going to be able to handle. So that's what's really important. And as a general rule, just the most commonly found acids out there that tend to be kinder to sensitive skin are lactic and azelaic. So for a dry skin that is sensitive, I would recommend, me personally, exfoliating once or twice a week tops, never scrubbing, never using anything that has harsh chemicals, colorants, fragrances, not washing your face with hot water. I'm assuming that those are already, you know, given. But then, so you would gently exfoliate, and then companies like Ren, Caudalie, First Aid, they tend to make a lot of products that are made for sensitive skin. So I would recommend looking into those. But again, just proper exfoliating protocol using a gentle acid once or twice a week. That's going to be critical because otherwise that dry skin is going to continue flaking. It's going to not allow other products to penetrate through that layer of dead skin. So, and that could lead to acne, stuff getting trapped in there. So you have to exfoliate. Everybody has to exfoliate. And then like a Ren, a Caudalie, a First Aid. Okay. Finally got my breakouts under control. Tips for skin texture issues and scarring. When it comes to texture, I just mentioned you have to properly exfoliate over and over again. That's what helps. That's what will help with texture. And another thing that I want to mention too, we have the tendency to expect results overnight. We are a culture of people that is highly anxious and wants immediate results. We want things right now. We are not very patient people anymore. And the reality is that with any new skincare product that you're going to use, you have to give it time. You can't use it for 1 week and they say, this doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm not going to do it. You need to give something 30 days to experience. So if you did one chemical exfoliation and you still see texture, you just have to, you know, be consistent. OMG, absolutely. Oh, sorry, I went up really fast. Thank you, honey. Oh, it's not in the usual cup. Okay. Okay, so that helps with texture. In terms of scarring, this is what's interesting. A lot of us confuse scarring with hyperpigmentation. So when it comes to scarring, there's scar tissue. If you have spots like this, like the one, well, it's still in pimple form, but it's gonna leave a mark. That one's gonna leave a mark, right? That's post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So that's completely different than an acne scar, which has scar tissue, which there's so many different kinds. A dermatologist will have to look at you and will have to say, oh, this is like an ice pick, or oh, this is a box scar, or oh, this is like a rolling acne scar. So there's so many different scars because of scar tissue, and then there's hyperpigmentation. A lot of times we confuse the two, and you see a spot and you say, oh, this is an acne scar, when in fact it's not, it's a mark. So for acne marks, hyperpigmentation, again, continuous exfoliation is going to help, like the one that I mentioned, and bleaching type of ingredients in creams or serums are what's going to make a difference. If you're looking to buy something, and I can make a note if you want, I can show you in stories the one that I'm using. Okay, show hydroquinone cream. I've showed it before to my people, but I don't mind showing it again in stories after this. Hydroquinone is a soft spot for some people. not for most in my opinion. And they're saying, oh, it has been shown to lead to some form of cancer and stuff. And I've said this before, yeah, in rats, okay, which do not have the same DNA structure as we do, and they ingested it for a really long period of time. I mean, you can ingest anything. It doesn't matter how natural it is. Arsenic is natural. Arsenic is a natural ingredient. You shouldn't be eating that now, should you? So if you ingest a product for a long period of time, it's not going to be good. So I wouldn't say that, oh, this ingredient is bad just because a lot of rats ate a lot of product and then they had health issues. That just seems ludicrous to me. So a lot of doctors will tell you that hydroquinone is perfectly fine. And you can get hydroquinone over the counter, actually, in like a 2% or less, which is what I get for myself again. And I'm going to have to repeat this throughout because I don't want anybody to get a misconception. You need to speak to a board-certified licensed dermatologist. That's what you have to do. Oh, I feel like I'm having FOMO. I don't know what I'm missing. Helena and Nina are chatting. Oh, Jeremiah should set up a tip jar in your kitchen. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So, okay, so in terms of hyperpigmentation, if you want to buy something, SkinCeuticals, in my opinion, kind of leads the pack with hyperpigmentation issues. And then if you want to spot correct, which is something that I do because SkinCeuticals, they're fantastic, but they can be really expensive and they're not in most people's budgets, right? So if you want to try something at home with your dermatologist's approval, of course, then I will show you the hydroquinone cream that I use. I buy it from Amazon. I have been using this cream. I think the first time I bought it was in 2016 or 2017 is what I used for 1 week at a time when I have hyperpigmentation, then I take a break and then only on those spots directly. So that's what I use and that's what helps with that kind of scarring. In terms of a scar tissue, you're looking at having to use topical retinoids. So if it is like a scar tissue and it's an actual acne scar, you're going to need topical retinoids. You're going to need to look at procedures like chemical peels, dermabrasions, and lasers. So those are not really going to be easy fixes. I could lie to you and be like, oh, try this magical formula so I can feel really good about myself and seem like I know what I'm talking about. But no. Okay, this is a good one too. They're all good ones. How to control melanin flow naturally. I would personally, I keep saying, oh, I need to change that about myself. It drives me nuts. I'm playing these back and I'm like, ugh. Okay, so melanin, when your skin is in the sun or is exposed to skin, your body's going to release melanin naturally to try to protect itself. So those are two things right there that you want to avoid. Avoid heat on the skin. That's why hot yoga and such is really bad for people with melasma. You don't want to do that. Saunas, steam rooms, hot yoga. You need to put sunscreen on your face and try, even when you're wearing sunscreen, to wear a hat, because you may protect yourself from the UVA and the UVB, but there's still that heat, right, that is generated by the sun. You don't want that. Your body is going to produce melanin. Your melanocytes are going to produce melanin, right, as a reaction. So try to avoid heat to the skin and try to avoid the sun, UVA, UVB. Those are the first two things that are coming to mind. That's the easiest way to try to avoid that. Okay, let's keep going. I want to try to answer as many. What are your thoughts on Curology? I think that the concept is good. To be honest with you, I know everything about, well, not everything, but I know a lot about the concept. I don't really know much about individual reviews. But I'm using right now for the first time a service because, oh my gosh, so many of my friends have been recommending it, because I was looking between Curology and this one called Dermatica. So I know people that have tried Dermatica. I don't know people that have tried Curology that are immediate friends that I could ask. So but the concept is good, and the Dermatica concept is exactly the same way. So I'm going to experience actually for myself. How do you feel about Image Skincare? The Spy Go-To for Facials uses this line. Ironically enough, this is what we're using in school right now too. We're using Image Skincare. They definitely have the science behind it. I wouldn't buy it. That's just me. I hate the way their products smell. They are so fragrant. Whoo! I remember the first time we tried them, I was like, yeah, do we have any other options? And they're like, no, because this is the best. And I'm like, is it really though? So I don't know. It's subjective. I believe that they have the technology. I believe that, you know, that they have solid, robust, trustworthy formulas, but I hate the smells, and I think that you can get very close a lot cheaper because their price points are out of this world. If you're going to get a facial, yeah, let them spoil you with the expensive stuff. Okay, vitamin C, affordable. I'm broken lockdown. Okay, you didn't tell me to hide your, because I think that a lot of us are going to be able to relate with you. Vitamin C, how to use, when, why, what products are best, affordable. I'm broke in lockdown. Let me see, actually, let me try to go online to try to jog my memory. I know that actually probably on the cheap side, on the cheaper side, I would probably go with the Ordinary just because I trust their, but let me see Nayad. Let me see Nayad. So vitamin C, how to use it, when, why. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. You absolutely need it because it helps in the synthesis of collagen production. It also helps, people use the word reverse. I don't like the reverse, but it could help with improving the skin as a result of skin being affected by the sun, UVAs, UVBs, and such. So I can't think of one because my brain is kind of shot right now. But yeah, reverse some of the signs of aging, premature aging caused by sun exposure. Sun, which is the biggest extrinsic aging factor, period. Second is smoking, and then it's alcohol. And so vitamin C helps reverse a little bit of that damage. It also helps with your body. It helps your body to produce collagen. So it's a really good antioxidant. You have to use it in your skincare. If you're not using it, you're absolutely missing out. And so that's when you should use it. When should you use it? I personally prefer to use it in the morning because at night I like to go in with heavier stuff, my retinols, retinoids, things to help with hyperpigmentation, acne. You know, those are treatments that are very targeted that I like to do in the evening, and you don't want to mix actives, right? So I do it in the morning. Of course, I follow with a moisturizer and a sunscreen even when I'm staying home. So how to use, it really depends on the instructions. I personally use a vitamin C in powder form because it's most stable. And I mix it in with my hyaluronic acid. Hi, Lacey! Oh, I love that you're here. Hi, Mama. And so that's when I use it, how I use it, why I use it. In terms of what products are the best, and honestly, and you guys can fill in the blanks because, you know, I say this all the time, so I don't want to sound redundant for the friends that are here all the time. Vitamin C comes in various different forms. The ones that I prefer the most is called ascorbic acid. It is the most potent and form of vitamin C, but it's also the most unstable. So the question becomes, how do you make sure that you buy a stabilized form of vitamin C? Now, affordable. Affordable means a lot of things to different people, right? So what's affordable to you may not be affordable to somebody else. Is affordable 20 bucks? Is affordable 30 bucks? Affordable 50 bucks? Affordable $5? So let me see, Neogen vitamin C powder, the one that I bought. Okay, that's 17, see? The Neogen Real Vita C, honestly, I bought it months ago. So hello from India. Hi, it's really good to see you. See, what is the best vitamin C serum? We got another question in the comments. So the one that I use, and I've showed you guys even a couple of days ago in my morning skincare routine, is the Neogen Real Vita C powder, lemon. It's got, it says 17%. Honestly, a lot of times percentages don't even matter. In fact, with vitamin C, you don't want it to be too high of a percentage because then that would be really irritating. What matters in vitamin C is not to get carried away. Oh, this is a 100% vitamin C. It's not about that. It's about how stable is the formula. That is what we need to look at. So so Neogen, the one that I use, I bought it from Sokoglam, Sokoglam, Sokoglam. You can even find them here on Instagram. Tell them I say hi. So the one that I buy is Neogen Real Vita C Powder. You can actually find it on my blog because you've seen me, I demoed it this Monday. On my blog, you can literally see me using it, and I'm talking in far more extent about vitamin C. And this is in powder form, which makes it a lot more stable, and it's $17. I hope this answered. Neogen versus Ordinary. It really depends on what product. Neogen, I believe, will have a little bit more technology than the Ordinary, because the Ordinary, while they employ a lot of chemistry, because it's so cheap, they can only use like 1 or 2 things in their cocktail, if that makes sense. Okay, could you please suggest some SPFs for summer? Some good SPFs, I always talk about Supergoop. I love Supergoop. I would say it's at the top. I really like Supergoop. Dermalogica makes some good ones. Elta MD makes a really good one that is, and they have a lot of, all these companies actually have non-comedogenic options. So Supergoop, Elta MD, that's where I get my tinted ones. Color Science, MD Solar Sciences, and Kula. I would say those are my favorite. Definitely look for formulas. Don't be afraid of silicones. In fact, it's better because, you know, they can hold moisture into the skin. They're almost like an occlusive, and your skin can breathe. That's a misconception that especially one company out there is promoting, and I hate that. But you want a silicone spread because you don't want to be patchy and blotchy and with a white tint. Why? Silicones are FDA approved. They're actually fantastic for the skin. Your skin can breathe, and no, you cannot break out from silicones. That's just lunacy. Okay, how can we have glowing skin? I feel like I answered this before, so I'll make it really quick. It's proper exfoliation with chemical exfoliants. It's hydrating. It's taking the right supplements, properly moisturizing and protecting from the sun. Tips to control stress acne. Oh, hi Diana. It's so good to see you here in questions. If you can't eliminate high stress, I really, there's not going to be much, honestly, aside from the regular protocols that I'm sharing with you here, which are to not pop any pimples, trying to touch the skin as tempting as it may be. I personally like to use those pimple patches throughout the day too, or the deep cleansing pore masks that I put as a spot treatment on it, because it prevents me from touching it, because I am a chronic pimple popper, and I can't have, oh, Lacey knows. I am a chronic pimple popper. So a lot of times I would put a pimple patch on, or I would put a pimple mask, deep pore cleansing treatment on, to try to avoid popping and touching. You have to do that. You have to let it kind of organically percolate. That's one. Don't touch your face. Don't pop. Continue hydrating your skin. Very gently exfoliate, maybe once a week, twice a week tops, really, right now, while your skin is acting out. And try to use gel-like formulas, like very light, very gel-like formulas, stuff that's water-based, like Neutrogena, Ren, Caudalie, Vichy. They will make hydrating moisturizers that are water-based. So you have to do that, and you have to protect from the sun. And honestly, that with trying to avoid dairy, and perhaps something like turmeric supplements, because they're anti-inflammatory, so they can help. Acne essentially is a result of inflammation. So you want to try to lower the inflammation in your body as much as possible. So Diana, in addition to everything that I mentioned topically, I would highly recommend an anti-inflammatory diet. You know, that will be a solution for right now, and you just have to keep at it. And how to treat acne scars with DIY. Again, I'm not sure if you're referring to hyperpigmentation, because it's hyperpigmentation that you're going to be able to have some help with acne scars, not scars that are the result of scar tissue, which you have to go in and seek help professionally. Sorry, I'm really mumbling. I'm really tired, you guys, and I'm doing these every day, so I'm really tired. But so for acne marks, I highly recommend, because there's so many different things that I have done, and I share a lot of education and misinformation on the topic too. If you go to my blog, it's alexandrapotora.com, you will see a tab right there, or if you're on mobile, you'll see the menu drop down, and there's a thing called DIY's catalog. Okay, and when you click on DIY's catalog, it's so incredible. Like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I did a really good job, you guys. And in DIY's catalog, like I'm on there right now, I click on it and I have skin, eyes, lips, neck, body, hair, miscellaneous. Under skin alone, I have acne, acne scars, brown spots, hyperpigmentation, blackheads, large pores, oily skin, dry skin, eczema, sensitive skin. It's such a long list. And then when you click on that, you will essentially see all the content that I have created using DIYs. I recommend to check that out. Okay, do you recommend microdermabrasion? It can be abrasive, it can be a little hard to the skin, but again, it could help with things like acne scars. So there is a time and a place for microdermabrasion, so if it's for the right kind of treatment hack of sorts, then yes, I recommend it. Okay, best way to treat body acne, like chest and back. So one of the things that we don't pay attention and we start realizing, oh, I started getting back acne, we have to take a look first at our shampoos. I know this is something so basic, but your shampoo as you're washing your hair, if it has those surfactants that I keep mentioning all the time, sodium lauryl sulfates, SLS, and all those foaming agents, a lot of times when you wash your hair, it's gonna run down your back. It's gonna run down your back, sometimes from your front, and that is so irritating to the skin. I cannot even begin to tell you how irritating to the skin that is, and your skin will react. Also, using clothing that is got like the polyesters kind of that are or the wools that are really itchy. I forget the kind of material that I'm thinking about, but you know, material that is tight to the skin that can rub and be irritating, and then you're sweating and then that material is sweating. So when it comes to body acne, one of the best things that and easiest things that you can look at is look at your shampoo, look at your conditioner, and make sure that they don't have surfactants and SLS and things like that, and then take a look at your clothing. Give your skin some time to breathe. So try to wear more loose clothing from a soft cotton, breathable material. Start with that. And as always, you may think that, oh, you're going for a run and you just have your sports bra. You have to apply sunscreen. How your body reacts. Oh, see, look, Olaplex shampoo makes lacy break out. See, for some reason it doesn't. For me, that's what I use. I love it. So it really depends, but it's up to you, and you have to take a look at your shampoo and conditioner first, and then take a look at your clothing, see how you're sweating through your clothing, and if that sweat gets trapped onto your skin, you're very likely to break out front and back. Okay. How to deal with congestion. I see a lot of questions that are reoccurring, so if I answered it, I'm going to try to move forward so I can try to answer as many as possible. Okay, what is the best drugstore find for dry skin? I would say probably for dry skin, CeraVe from the drugstore. You know, actually at the drugstore you find a lot of French pharmacy products, and I'm a really big lover of French pharmacy products, and I always wonder if I'm saying them correctly, but like the Avène, the La Roche-Posay, the Vichy, these kinds of brands are gonna be affordable. They're gonna be drugstore, and they're gonna have a lot of products that are very moisturizing. CeraVe was the first one that came to mind, but yeah, you have your Vichy and La Roche-Posay. Okay, a lot of reoccurring questions. I'm not sure I understand this question. Hang on. Hey, do you know anything about the Pigmentation cream and acne? No, actually, I really don't. Pigmentation. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So it looks like it's in one of those jar-like. I don't. I actually will have to take a look. It's a German brand of healthcare products, including baby cream, owned by Johnson & Johnson. I'll have to take a look into this. I actually don't know much about it. Medicated cream. Provides relief for minor skin irritation. Directions, ingredients. Zinc oxide. Okay. Non-medicinal. Ooh, alcohol. Oh, dead to me. Sorry. Moving on. It's literally, okay, so I understand why when they're saying it's so funny how they're saying non-medicinal, because here in the United States, you're required to put it as non-active, even though they're actives. But The zinc oxide, because it has sunscreen, right, has to be referred in the United States anyway by FDA law. You have to put it as an active ingredient, and then the rest of your ingredients you put them as not active. But again, they are active, but that's just how the FDA wants it, because the FDA is like so far behind the times. It should be medicinal or versus like medicinal versus non-medicinal. I agree with that. But the first item after the zinc oxide is alcohol. Yikes! Oh! I don't even want to look further. No. I'm like, Not a question. Just wanted to tell you I admire you and your work. Keep it up. I love you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I see a lot of really kind things said here. What do you apply on your active pimple all day long? Oh, because I shared in stories that I was applying that. It was, I was using, okay, I'll make a memo to show pimple spot I used, because in stories I talked about yesterday, one of the things I like about quarantine is that I can pimple spot correct every day. It is a mask. It is a mask made for acne skin, so I applied it directly on the pimples. I use that, or I use the pimple patches. You are the best. Thank you very much. Oh, this is a good one from Quikaba, our friend to the community here, Quikaba. A sweet almond oil, a good eye cream for milia, wrinkles, dark circles, and dryness. So almond oil has a lot of quality fatty acids. I can see it being able to help with wrinkles, dark circles, and dryness. However, not for milia. Milia will have to be, my recommendation will have to be professionally popped, taken out by your doctor. So, but I could see almond oil, and I have done, I believe it was an almond oil with turmeric for dark circles before. So yes. Do you still have warm lemon water every morning? Not so much lately, just because when I intermittent fast, I try not to have anything that has calories, so I don't do that. Okay. Let us keep going. What's your go-to products for large pores and blackheads? Exfoliation, that's my #1 for both. And my go-to product will be the exfoliating pads from Dr. Dennis Gross. Also, if you recommend, okay, thoughts on the brand Mad Hippie. Also, if you recommend using a facial oil, I always recommend using a facial oil. I believe that it's a great occlusive, and it's great to keep moisture into your skin, basically by kind of barricading everything that you have applied already, because oils are not moisturizing, okay? They just hold moisture in from everything that you've applied already. It's like a barrier, but you don't moisturize your skin with oils. That's a common misconception. In terms of Mad Hippie, I remember checking out their vitamin C a while back, and it seemed like you know, they were stabilizing it. Yeah, it seemed like a decent chemistry to it, but it just never spoke to me for some reason. I don't know what it is. I am personally more after the clinically kind of products. Again, 36. I have to, you know. Oh, this is a good one too. All these questions are so good. What serums do you recommend using, especially budget friendly, like around $30? First of all, Niod. The Niod that I'm using is 35 bucks. It's the best hyaluronic acid for the money you're gonna get. Period. So I would start there. Niod, huge. Also, Avene hydrating serum is a good one. I believe that Neutrogena Hydra Boost is another good one, you know, that are on the affordable side. But go to Niod, get your Niod, girls, $35. Ariana said, yeah, Mad Hippie didn't really do anything for me. Yeah, it seems on paper, you know, it seems on paper that they've put thought into their formulas. I'm always for the science, but it just never spoke to me. Oh, this is so tiny because there's a lot of oily. Okay, hang on, it's a lot, and I wanted to make sure that she doesn't tell me that I shouldn't feature her. For oily combo skin that gets oily throughout the day, what's an essential morning routine if my skin, yeah, it's a really long one. She said if my skin, I don't understand the hydrate overnight, but For oily combo skin, I have combo skin right now and I had oily skin before, that gets really oily throughout the day. One of the first things that I recommend doing is looking at your cleanser and like your cleansing protocols, because if you use your cleanser in the morning, then it's very likely that you're kind of stripping some of the oils and your skin will go crazy in overdrive to create that oil, and that's why you might have a tendency to get overly oily throughout the day. So first things first, look at your cleanser. You don't necessarily have to use a cleanser in the morning. I use cleansing water. I showed you guys my routine. It's now up on my blog. We did this Monday. So look at your cleanser, start with that. Go for like a cleansing water in the morning as opposed to like an actual cleanser, start there. You have to hydrate the skin, hydrate. That $35 NIOD that I keep mentioning to you guys, I buy it. I think that there's a handful of brands I have reached out in my entire life, be like, hey, I really love you guys. I'd love to like be on your PR list. I've done this with Dicium. Dicium does not PR list. So I was like, damn, so it is what it is, because I spend a lot of money with NIOD. I told you guys, I buy like 6 bottles at a time because I cannot live without this stuff. So hydrate, okay? And then if you have oily combo skin, a lighter texture moisturizer, something that is water-based, is going to be very helpful. And then for you, because you do get oily, a very light primer, Tatcha makes a good one. I would recommend Cover FX, makes some really good ones. Actually, Cover FX makes some pretty robust. Also Smashbox, they make the greater primers. I hope that helps. Ooh, what's your best tip for reducing dark under eyes? I'm struggling, especially right now. I can literally only imagine if like those who have kids and now all of a sudden they're I don't want to say stuck with their kids at home, but kind of. So you guys need a medal or a hug from someone, I'll tell you that much. So dark under eyes can be the result of various different things. We're gonna get genetics out of the way, because if it's in your genes to have dark circles like I do, you're SHIT out of luck. Okay, because I don't know if your kid is running around. SHIT out of luck. It is what it is, but you could have dark circles as a result of thinner under eye skin. It could be the result of any vascular issues, increased pigment, or the most common one that most of us ignore and don't think that it's a problem. It's actually allergy induced. So really quick, if it's thin skin, thinner skin thinning out, that is a result of the dark circles getting more prominent, then you would have to use like a retinol kind of cream. That's going to help thicken the skin, and I always share the one that I use from the drugstore. It's from Rock, and I believe that Rock, in terms of drugstore, has the most robust clinical data for their retinol. So if it's thinning of the skin, I would use retinol. If it's a vascular issue, then the only thing that I can think about is you should sleep a little bit more elevated. So instead of sleeping like this and allowing all the fluid to build up and be more like protrude more and be more visible, then I recommend you slightly elevate your pillow at night. If it's pigment, then you have to protect from the sun, right? That's number one. So you're gonna have to use a sunscreen or a moisturizer or something, some form of eye cream that has sunscreen in it. I know Supergoop makes some, Dermalogica makes some, SkinCeutical makes some. So you have to put a moisturizer or an eye cream that has sunscreen in it. Now, if it's an allergy induced, which again, most of us don't think of that, but it is a thing, then you're gonna need like an over-the-counter antihistamine. But again, talk to your doctor. So those things will actually help. By vitamin D deficiency. That's very interesting. So in that case, if you're a your dark circles. Actually, are you sure it's vitamin D too? Because most of the times it could be a vitamin K deficiency actually. That's why I saw K and I'm like, yeah, that's right. But then you said vitamin D deficiency. Well, so that's an easy fix. If you know for a fact, if your doctor or dermatologist has advised that this is the cause, I find it really interesting. But it could be possible. Then take a vitamin D supplement. Thank you, so helpful. Oh, that makes my heart so happy. Thank you for saying that. Oh my gosh, there's still so many questions and we have just about 5 more minutes. Let me try to go through some questions that I haven't answered already. Have you ever seen your skin react differently with certain foods yet? I haven't really. Now they say that food really, there's no data, for example, that can support that food really does impact your skin. We think that, and when I say think, I'm not the scientist in the back doing the research, but I'm just saying we as people think that, you know, dairy tends to affect things like acne and such because the hormones in dairy interfere with your hormones, etc. But I have to say that I find that when I do eat cleaner foods and I stay focused on more organic fruits, vegetables, I drink more water, I do find that my skin is not necessarily clearer, but more glowy. I already talked about my favorite sunscreens for the face. Why you're so, thank you, I love you too. How do you feel about facial cleanser machines like Revlon or Clairsonic? I've talked about this in Monday's IG, so I recommend you check it because I posted on my website on my website in here. When your skin is wet, it's most sensitive. If you double cleanse, you really don't need to use any cleansing brushes. You don't need to assault the skin further. So I would say no. What order skincare should be? Oh, no name, please. Oh, see, good thing that I checked because you said no name. Okay, what order skincare should be used? Moisturizer, after serum, etc. No name, please. Sure. So it depends on the morning, right? So in the morning, you're going to have a different skincare protocol than in the evening. In the morning, you're going to use like a cleansing water. You're going to use your vitamin C. You're going to use your hyaluronic acid. You're going to use your eye cream. And then you're going to use your moisturizer and your sunscreen. That's morning. At night, you're going to use a cleansing oil as cleanse number 1. You're going to use a gentle, non-foaming facial wash as your cleanse number 2. Then you're going to apply your treatment, which it could be either the retinol, it could be the acne treatment, it could be something for hyperpigmentation, etc. Your treatment will go in there, then your hyaluronic acid, then your eye cream, then your moisturizer, and then you can choose to lock in everything with an oil. Okay. Okay, that's the order. Skincare, can you address pigmentation? I've talked about it. So exfoliation and then using a topical bleaching agent on the spots, that has helped. Have you tried the brand Maquillage? No, I haven't. Do I have to reapply my sunscreen every 2 hours, even in home? Honestly, if you're doing your due diligence and you are applying your sunscreen and you're staying home and you're not going out and you're not on your patio in the sun, then I'm not going to be super crazy, because you know I always say I'm crazy about it. Wear it when you're staying home. But if you're just staying home and you have it on, I think you should be fine with not having to reapply as long as you do apply it. We talked about the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation advice. Can we cool our face massage roller before using it? Is it better normally when it's cold? If you have a jade roller, the jade is already cold. It's already made of a material that will stay cold in contact with the skin. I really don't recommend using a whole lot of cold stuff unless it's designed for it, like the ice globes. And if you do put it in the fridge, then because it can constrict the blood vessels too if it's done properly. So it can help minimize the appearance, of course. But use a tiny little cloth or something like that so it doesn't come in direct contact with the skin. Is Paula's Choice AHA BH exfoliating serum good for dehydrated skin? This is a really interesting question. Exfoliating is not what is affecting hydration of the skin. What affects hydration of the skin is going to be hydrating the skin. Most specifically and most commonly used is the hyaluronic acid. You should exfoliate, but it's not for dehydrated skin. Dehydrated skin pertains to water in the skin, okay? Okay, would you recommend tretinoin for acne-prone skin? Please don't mention my name. Absolutely, absolutely. I would recommend it. It helps. And not just acne skin, but aging skin, but you have to do it right. You can, off the bat, go from 0 to 100, meaning you're going to use it every night or every other night. You have to start once a week and kind of build your way up from there. How to keep always get filled. How to keep big pores clean. I take care of my skin, but big pores always get filled. So again, proper exfoliation, using water-based moisturizers, hydrating the skin. Hydrating and moisturizing are key here. A lot of times we don't do that because we're thinking, oh, my skin is building up and I have oily skin and I don't need it. But the reality is that by stripping the skin, it's going to overproduce oils. So you always want to hydrate and moisturize. Those are key things that you have to do. Exfoliate, hydrate, moisturize, protect with sunscreen. That's the absolute basic. So you want to exfoliate, and you have to do so consistently. Again, don't exfoliate once and expect, gentle exfoliation is going to be key, which is why I like the Dr. Dennis Gross peels, because they can be used every day, because they're gentle, but they can be used every day. So that really helps. Ooh, views on dermal rolling or derma stamp. I really want to get rid of acne scars. So there you go. So you're referring to acne scars properly, because things like that can help with the scar tissue. I do not derma roll. I encourage you to not derma roll. I hate it, and I hate seeing people using it, and I even hate when I see people that are supposed to know what they're talking about using it and not even properly sanitizing and disinfecting the product. It kills me. So don't use a derma roll. Do yourself a favor. There's, first of all, the microneedling that they do in office. The needles are so much longer. They apply a topical anesthetic. That is what really helps, because it penetrates. A lot of the times, the derma rollers that we can buy ourselves to pierce our own skin, they're not even that deep to where they really, all they do is just kind of poke at the very, very, very top layer. And a lot of times they're not even as sharp as it. I can't even, I could go on and on and on. Don't derma roll. The derma stamp, I would say, or the microneedle pen are definitely better options, but even at home, they're not deep enough to penetrate into the skin. So, and not to mention, they're starting to find studies that microneedling helps because the needles, it's very targeted, right? The needles go at a 90 degrees, very targeted. With a derma roll, you're just going like that at every single angle. It's such an assault to the skin. I don't even get me started. I don't. If you want to do that, if you are committed, that's what I do. I pinch, even when I was like going through my times, okay, pinched pennies, and I go and I get it done by a professional. Now, you have to know if that's in the scope of work, because just so you know, here in California, microneedling is not allowed by a regular esthetician. It's actually illegal because it's outside the scope of work, because you need training for this stuff. Because it seems like, oh my God, I'm just gonna roll. No. You can literally create micro tears and other things and more damage to the skin because you need it to actually penetrate. Your acne scar, you're seeing it visible, but it's a lot of scar tissue that is happening deeper in the layers of the skin. That is what you need to tackle. I'm sorry, I'm getting like all wound up. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have so many questions. I'm not even a quarter through, and Instagram is going to put a hard stop at our live in 3 minutes. So let me try to find a really, really, really quick one. What do you like in California? I love everything. Let's just answer one last one. Here's from April, like a friend to our community. Should you apply eye cream on the lids too or not? You really don't have to. In fact, for a lot of people, you'll be recommended not to, because a lot of folks out there are not going to be diligent enough to make sure that they're not going to do this and potentially rub the thin lid skin too much or get product into their eyes that could lead to God knows what else. But for me, and you guys have seen my videos when I do close-ups, my eyelids are so dry, and even when I apply makeup or I have like concealer on top, ooh, it's so rough. So I personally, very gently using my ring finger, do tap it around the lash line. That was so educative. Thanks, Alex. Thank you so much, Alex. Oh, you guys, this was awesome. Oh my gosh, hi, Alice. You are so, thank you. Hello from you guys. Thank you. You're going to make me blush. I really appreciate it. And it means the world to me. I know that some of you may be frustrated that I haven't gotten around to your question. I apologize. There were over 100. I try to be as fast as I can. I'm learning to be more efficient with these lives as much as I can, because I have the attention span of a 2-year-old. So I get sidetracked and I get so passionate about certain things that I can just go off the rails. But this Friday, I'm going to put a notification on so you can turn on the notification. Definitely join me and the Masters Edition that will come this Friday. We have the day off tomorrow. But, oh, quick Haba, thank you. I'm so glad that you do. Thank you. Sono pericolosa siate poop. So definitely tune in on Friday because we're going to have our master esthetician again. Double the amount of study and study time than a regular esthetician does, which is why I wanted to bring this this fabulous lady on. And she's a business owner herself. She owns her spa, I believe, right? Yeah. So she's gonna come in, and I'm gonna do another Q&A on Saturday. I'm gonna open the questions again. If I didn't answer it right now, I really apologize. Please bear with me, ask it again, and either on Friday it will be answered somehow, or I'll get to it on Saturday. But don't give up on me. I'm never gonna give up on you, and I'll continue doing these. And I'll see you guys in live Friday at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time in the morning. So excited for Friday. I'm so happy that you are. Thank you again. Salutări de la TB. TB? TB? Yeah, hi TB. Te pup, Helena. We had such a good live today. Lead ones and expect going to be diligent enough to make sure that they're not going to do this and potentially rub the thin lid skin too much or get product into their eyes that could lead to God knows what else. But for me, and you guys have seen my videos when I do close-ups, my eyelids are so dry, and even when I apply makeup or I have like concealer on top, ooh, it's so rough. So I personally very gently using my ring finger do tap it around the lash line. That was so educative. Thanks, Alex. Thank you so much, Alex. Oh, you guys, this was awesome. Oh my gosh. Hi, Alice. You are so, thank you. Hello from you guys. Thank you. You're going to make me blush. I really appreciate it. And it means the world to me. I know that some of you may be frustrated that I haven't gotten around to your question. I apologize. There were over 100. I try to be as fast as I can. I'm learning to be more efficient with these lives as much as I can because I have the attention span of a 2-year-old. So I get sidetracked and I get so passionate about certain things that I can just go off the rails. But this Friday, I'm going to put a notification on so you can turn on the notification. Definitely join me and the Masters Edition that will come this Friday. We have the day off tomorrow. But, oh, quick haba, thank you. I'm so glad that you do. Thank you. Sono pericolosa siate poop. So definitely tune in on Friday because we're going to have our master esthetician again. Double the amount of study and study time than a regular esthetician does, which is why I wanted to bring this this fabulous lady on. And she's a business owner herself. She owns her spa, I believe, right? Yeah. So she's gonna come in, and I'm gonna do another Q&A on Saturday. I'm gonna open the questions again. If I didn't answer it right now, I really apologize. Please bear with me, ask it again, and either on Friday it will be answered somehow, or I'll get to it on Saturday. But don't give up on me. I'm never gonna give up on you, and I'll continue doing these. And I'll see you guys in live Friday at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time in the morning. So excited for Friday. I'm so happy that you are. Thank you again. Salutări de la TB. TB? TB? Yeah, hi TB. Te pup, Helena, yay. Where have you got it from? The beautiful ring. Oh, thank you so much. There's an Asian mall by my house. And, well, it's not by my house. It's by my old house. But anyway, I went there a couple of years ago, and they have a lot of jewelry stores. If Einstein and Barbie had a child, oh my God, you are way too kind. I really love and appreciate you. Are you posting the live? I'm definitely going to be posting it on my website, in my blog, alexandrapotora.com. Mondays is posted. I'm going to post today yesterday's. And you guys always ask for links, so I linked everything for you. And that's it. Hi from France. I love you guys. Please continue staying home. Stay healthy, safe. I wish you for mental happiness and relief and a good time. I'll see you in stories and in posts in the meantime, and live on Friday. Thank you immensely for tuning in. I love you guys. Bye.